Looking for a cosmic adventure like no other? ZATSWAN, Multiversal Guardian is a high-stakes comic book journey through the multiverse with stunning art and an unforgettable hero. Get your copy today in ebook and paperback formats. Link in the description.
Hello everybody, this is Neil Allen, the comic creator behind the series ZATSWAN Multiversal Guardian. This is a trade paperback that you can pick up on Amazon in paperback or ebook format. The link for that will be in the video description. Be sure to pick that out. And today we're going to continue the conversation that's been going on. And I got a neat comment from GMaxter98. Thank you for leaving this comment. Let's get right into this. So this is, I made this video over here that talked about John Boyega, the actor who plays Finn in Star Wars, voicing his frustration about some of the racist comments and treatment that he got from fans and also from Disney from his point of view. And that's what GMaxter here is replying to. Let's see what he says. Let's see what they say. I have to offer a bit of pushback on this one. I'm Team Boyega all the way. He was voicing frustrations and grievances with the racist fans, as well as Disney. He later spoke with the Disney representative to air it all out. This wouldn't have been an issue if his character wasn't portrayed as the new face of the franchise at first, then swiftly kicked to the curb. Okay, so some of my thoughts, that's true. We got the bait and switch treatment with Finn, which, disappointed a lot of people. But moving on, Finn still had the same trappings that black characters are shackled with, but the fall off wouldn't have been so steep. We don't have those issues with Lando or Mace because they were never propped up to be something they were never going to become. So that's fair. It's not quite a apples to apples. It's not quite an apples to apples comparison here. Finn was presented to be something he was never going to be, and that was disappointing to a lot of fans and very frustrating. So like the fans were hoodwinked. Okay, so here's the interesting comment that, I really want to get into discussing here. Also, I do agree that the black community would be better off not looking to these white-centric companies' franchises to do right by us, because they've shown time and time again that they don't want to. Therefore, they will not. This is a good viewpoint to have. Like, if you're consistently disappointed with the output they're giving you, which is completely understandable, by the way, then, how many times it's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 2, 3, 4, 15, 45 times. At that point, it's kind of like what you're in for, so why would you expect anything differently? Moving on. However, I don't think it's fair to put the blame on the black fan base for not financially supporting these properties that are put out. Okay, let's keep going. 9 times out of 10, they do not pass the vibe/quality test. They don't provide the full-on push we are looking for. Therefore, we keep our wallets closed for them. We don't have any hard numbers to quantify how many black fans are financially supporting these works as well. Indie works are a whole other story, though. I'm not trying to be contentious here at all, but this is a little vague to me. Like, I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. Like, so you say like indie works are a whole other story. I'm a little curious at what these other properties that are put out are. I will be completely open with you. Like, most quote unquote like black media does not appeal to me. The thing about it though is that I saw an opening in the market and I decided to create, my own sort of thing that I thought would appeal, or not that I thought, but that would actually appeal more to me, because you certainly do not have to support anything that you're not a fan of or that doesn't look like it will appeal to you, and I would actually encourage you not to. But the thing about it is that not just you in particular, but Fans have to, if they're not being served, then they should find things that either serve them, or they should create those things themselves. That's the only way that I see taking care of this sort of problem. Like, if the stuff that Disney is putting out isn't doing right by you as you see it, then there's no point to continually going to Disney for that. And I understand that. Like, I think what you're referring to when you talk about they do not pass the vibe test, they don't provide the full-on push we are looking for. Are you talking about like that big Disney push, that mainstream treatment, the big Hollywood treatment? Yeah, that's really good. That's really, really cool. That's great in itself, but I think my point is that um I wouldn't worry about that too much. I would worry more about just finding entertainment that you like, and not worrying too much about this long term investment with it. Like, is this going to get a film? Is this going to get the big push? Is this going to get the action figure line? I think that's kind of putting the cart in front of the horse. Let me use this example. I mentioned in videos, quite a few of them, that I run into a lot of girls that like really love Webtoon, right? They really love, they want their like female led romance comics. I mean, they don't have, I don't think they don't need to be like 10,000% romance, but they definitely want that romance element, and they tend to really go for these female led characters. That's what the people that I've encountered are looking for. They were not getting those comics from, say, Marvel or DC or wherever, but some kind of way, that demographic that wants that content, they went out and they went to go get it. Like, if it wasn't there, they just made it. And a lot of times it's like women and girls writing for women and girls, and they know what they want, and those other women and girls like show up for it. And my understanding is they're doing that to simply find comics that they want to read, whether it gets a big movie, an anime, an adaptation, trading cards, a bunch of merchandise. That's not a factor for that audience. All they're looking for is content geared toward them that they like, and they don't have this big they don't seem to have this thought of, oh, I don't know if I want to invest in this because I don't know if it's going to get the push, the ultimate Hollywood mainstream push. No, that's like not a thought in their minds. But when it comes to, like, I've noticed with these black characters and fans, I've noticed that I've seen that thought before. Like, oh, I don't know if I like, they need that big giant Disney treatment with the movies and all of this, and if they don't get that, they're wary of investing in any of it. um I would say that's like putting the cart before the horse. Going back to that Webtoon example, sometimes that stuff actually does, a lot of times actually, it does get the big push and gets like a Netflix deal and this and that. But what I'm saying is that the fans of that stuff, when they started reading it, it was like building that groundswell and building that fan base, that wasn't a factor in their minds, really. They were just reading content, supporting content, and investing in content that was meeting a need for them. And I think that, one thing that we should be wary of is just putting that cart in front of the horse. Just look for content that you like. And I understand that, like, when you're a minority, finding content that you like is really, really hard. I remember hearing something from Comics by Perch. He said, like, look at all these comics that are look at all these comics that are put out. There are like hundreds every month. If you look hard enough, you will find something that you like. I don't completely subscribe to that, actually, because while there may be some stuff I like out there that I don't know about, that's very, very true, I don't think I was finding particularly what I was looking for. So in my case, what I did was I created it myself. You know exactly what I was looking for, and because I saw an opening in the market, and I was like, well, if my needs aren't being fulfilled, then other people's needs are quite possibly not being fulfilled either, and perhaps this can fulfill them. Now, what I will say is that I don't expect this to scratch the itch that everybody is looking for. Even if you are, say, looking for a black lead character, there are still a lot of reasons why this might not be what a person's looking for, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. So what I'm getting at here is, yeah, you should not necessarily support stuff that doesn't look like it will interest you, just content-wise it doesn't. I mean, I wouldn't say do that, but you kind of have a couple choices here. Like if it matters enough to you, and if you're like online here, I know you're not really, I know you're not really, I'm not trying to like act like you're doing something you're not. But if you're online here, say, shouting about this or frustrated about it, it obviously matters on some level. The question is, how much does it matter to you? So, yeah, what you can do if it matters enough, you can either look for content that does cater to you, like give you whatever you're looking for. And I understand. I think that's kind of hard for a lot of people to find, like most people, but especially if you're looking for like something with a black lead in genre fiction, like science fiction and fantasy. It's even especially harder to find. And because while you may find that, it still might not be exactly what you're looking for. There are still other parameters that need to line up for you. And that's like completely normal. Like, for example, maybe somebody's looking for a character that's blacker than AC Cooper ZATSWAN here. Maybe they're looking for a monoracial black relationship. ZATSWAN's not really giving you that. And I'm completely aware of that. And I think it's okay that it's not giving that. It's offering something different. You know what I mean? And other people could be looking for that different thing. That said, other people could be looking for exactly what this has to offer. So I understand that it can be difficult to find the stuff that you're looking for. If you're the creative sort, like I fancy myself, you can create that yourself. That's what I did because I wasn't getting exactly what I wanted. Um, I was finding that very, very difficult to find, so I had to kind of make it myself. If you're not the creative sort, but you have resources and it matters enough to you, you can commission somebody to make that. But it all depends on like how much it matters to you and what you're willing to do. I don't think that you should support stuff that you don't feel appeals to you. However, what I will say, and not just the commenter here, but I would admonish other people: try not to have this big, gigantic, ultra long term view when you're looking for entertainment. Like stuff like, oh, well, is it going to get a movie? Is it going to get a show? Is it going to get an action figure line? I wouldn't worry about that. I would just say, if it interests you, then go ahead and support it. You know what I mean? And then if it builds enough of a groundswell, if it's interesting to enough people, then yeah, you very well may get that. But I would just kind of take things one step at a time. Just find that entertainment that looks like it will appeal to you, and if it appeals to you, then support it. What I will say is, because if you don't do anything, you won't get anything. Like like always have your wallet closed to everything because you have a bunch, like kind of an unrealistic amount of parameters um, that need to be met before you pay for anything, then you're not going to get anything. um, that's kind of the way it goes, and it's kind of pointless just kind of yelling at the clouds or yelling at a brick wall, which is like to these companies that do have the resources to kind of give you what you want, but for whatever their reasons, they just don't. Maybe they try and it doesn't go well. Maybe they try, but you don't feel they try hard enough because they're only going to do so much, whatever their reasons. But I would say that to fix this problem, it's going to take like the people who want this sort of content, like with black lead characters and sci-fi and fantasy and superhero comics and stuff, to actually solve that problem themselves. Not an impossible problem to solve, because I will again point to, say, Webtoon. There were a bunch of girls who wanted like romancy type of comics. Those girls saw that their needs were met. They went out and got that. They made it themselves. They showed up and supported it. The same can be done here. But that's one thing I will say too, though, just to reiterate, you don't need to support stuff that just doesn't look like it'll appeal to you. But that doesn't mean that you don't have any other options. But anyway, that's about it for now. Thanks for leaving this comment. It's really good. I appreciate that. I'm never, just to make it completely clear, I'm never like calling people out when I highlight a comment like this. It's just to kind of get the conversation going, even if there are some points that I'm a bit confused about, or maybe that I don't agree with. But it's never to like call somebody out, unless the comment's just really, really crazy. But I don't. But anyway, not this one. This one's just fine. But I will hopefully talk to all of you again very soon. Be on the lookout for more content. And again, if ZATSWAN looks like something that appeals to you, you can pick it up on Amazon in the link in the video description. Anyway, stay tuned for more content, and make sure to like and subscribe, and take care.